What's up everybody, it's DeviousMatter here, and today I got a video I've never done before. Today I'm going to be showcasing the physics mod. Now the physics mod is a really awesome mod. Like, it's one of the best I've seen in terms of just what it does to the game. It changes things like the way the vines work, it changes snow physics, block physics, waste mob dies, it changes a lot of stuff. So today I'm just going to be running through this little world that I set up and showing you a bunch of what it does. We got a lot of things to show off, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I wanted to show y'all is the way that they changed the vine physics. Now in the physics mod they really do change the vine physics. Like, if I just jump into that, it moves the vines around. Now it is a Minecraft mod, it's going to be clunky, like that vine's crooked, but like, just look at the way it moves the vines. Like, that's cool. Like, you can't look at that, you can't tell me that's not cool. And it even reacts to projectiles. So say if I were to throw, like, shoot a bow and arrow at this one right here, see, it moves. It does backflips too, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's affected by, now there's an arrow inside of it, so it's not going to do anything, but it's affected by like different types of physics. So if I shoot an arrow right over there, you see it move. It's trying to run away from the arrow. Yeah, see? It reacts to things around, and now it goes back flat against the wall. And that's cool. It even reacts to like stuff like tridents, unless I'm lying. No, yeah, see, it reacts to tridents and stuff. It'll try to match their outline. It even reacts to items being thrown, so... Also, another cool thing it does is it adds this effect to whenever you throw items on the floor. So your items will actually be like 3D items on the ground instead of the original 2D, like, hologram things. Another cool way to break your PC is with the snowballs. When you throw a snowball, they shatter into a million pieces. And whenever you throw down a bunch of them, it doesn't like that very much, but it is pretty satisfying to kick the particles around. Just running around through, it is pretty cool. So another demonstration of the vines is like when you walk through them. So like just walking through an entryway with vines, it's a pretty cool effect. And then we have the nether vines. The nether vines behave differently. You can see them, they're swaying in the wind. It's kind of weird how the tall one's not doing that, but I'm going to walk through the red ones. These react pretty much the same. They have their own sound effects and everything, but like, you can't tell me that's not cool. And then these, they bend when you walk through them because they're like, they grow upwards. They look kind of funky. They look like the little wobbly men you see outside car dealerships, but the climbing part of them is even stranger. But we won't talk about that. It's the physics mod. It just looks cool. And then if you were to break some of them and then run through them, it just throws pieces of vines around. Like I said, you can just toss things on the ground like that. And then even these react to the snowballs being thrown and stuff like that. So the next thing I wanted to show you is the animations and stuff that the physics mod has when you kill mobs. Now this is really interesting. If I just spawn a creeper, oh, I forgot I had a resource pack on, but if I just kill a creeper, that's ragdoll. It ragdolls the creepers. So they just go flying, which is honestly really cool. Now this death animation for the physics mod is called blocky. So when I kill the creeper, they explode all their body parts just into a million different places. And yeah, you can kick them around too if you really want to. So yeah, when you kill them, they just explode everywhere, and I can kick his head around like a soccer ball. And then they shrink. Fractured is a really interesting death like animation for them because they just shrivel up. Like, they just fracture. Like, I guess that's the best way to explain it. They fracture when you have fractured enabled, and there's a lot more body parts flying around, so that's pretty cool. Now this one, YouTube might hate me for, but it's called fractured blood. So when you kill an enemy, you can see all their gibbly bits in the inside, which is kind of cool if you go for like a hardcore series and stuff like that. And then you can just straight up turn off mob physics where they just die like normal. That's what the mob animations are, and it looks different on every mob because they do individually take apart or take into account the limbs of the enemies and stuff like that. So a skeleton's going to have a lot more limbs being lost than a creeper would. Now, I'm sure y'all all saw this one coming. The physics mod isn't a physics mod without having explosion physics. So TNT and gas fireball, stuff like that, look something like this. Big pile of smoke, and then the blocks fly everywhere. That was only with 0.70% of the block size, so let's try it again with this one over here. So these block physics should be a lot bigger because this is what the default setting is. So yeah, you just see chunks flying around and stuff like that. That was a very odd explosion. So that's what happens when you put it in the ground, a perfectly square hole. Was that because of the concrete? Okay, this one, I hope I survive. I hope my PC lives. But we're just gonna light this one right here and hope for the best. So yeah, as you can see, you can even change the lifetime of the stuff. You can change the lifetime of how long the block fragments last. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And then the smoke kind of dissipates as it goes higher up into the sky. So yeah, it's not a physics mod without explosion physics. Now, another really cool part of the physics mod is the way that it breaks the blocks. Because like, you go over here, you're just mining, right? And it's like, oh, I want some, we want a survival mode for a better example. But it's like, hey, I want some coal. So you go over here, the little block physics break, and then it explodes. Which is just cool. But, you know, could be kind of annoying when you're mining down a tunnel and you just got a face full of coal, but it's worth it. And then if you do turn on the collapse block settings, if I break this block, it'll break everything above it connected, which I personally don't like that when I'm playing a survival world, so I have that turned off. But like breaking these, it breaks everything above it. It's a really good way to make a canyon and really screw yourself over. The physics mod is a fantastic mod for just adding life to the game to some way, shape, or form. I really enjoy it. Now, one of my like most favorite parts of the physics mod is the snow. Go. Show 'em what you do. Go. Yeah, there's snow trails. So like if I were to walk through the snow, it leaves little trails, which is just so cool. Like, I absolutely love this mechanic. And then if I were to throw it on a block, it just gets hidden in the snow. It's just gone. It's hidden. But yeah, this is really cool. And if I were to break that, it just breaks in the normal Minecraft snow, which is cool. You can go around, flatten it all, but like imagine like a really cool log cabin just sitting on one of these. Now, I'll do it for the video. But that's what it looks like whenever you break a tree. You only need to break the stump and then everything comes crumbling down, which is kind of satisfying. The leaves falling down with the snow on top of it. It doesn't look bad at all. Another really interesting part of the physics mod is what they do with water. I'm gonna show you some basic stuff right now, then I'm gonna show you what it does to like the ocean and stuff like that. But when you break pumpkins, they explode into like the Blender water videos that you see on YouTube and stuff that people thought were real. It explodes into that. So if you were to break a lot of them, you got your own little mini ocean right here. It's kind of cool. And they do dissipate and stuff like that. And then it's got their own little wobble physics and everything. But that's even, it's cool. I can't complain. And then with the enchantment table, they do something else that's really interesting. If you were to break an enchantment table, it's an infinite source of water. It just goes until you cover the source block. But yeah, that's also really interesting. Now, one thing I didn't show you is what happens when it rains. There's wind physics. You can see all these things over here bending and stuff now. So that's really cool. And then like you can see my little block particles, they blow away in the wind too. So if I were to break that, it would go flying away in the wind. And then the wind just changed directions. So that's cool. So you can see the vines and everything fighting the wind. They just follow the wind and the particles go rolling. It's really cool. The other really, like the whole reason I downloaded the physics mod is because of what it does to the ocean. It adds waves. And you can literally like ride the waves and like fly. No big waves right now, but like, yeah, see, you get some air and everything. It's like super cool. Just riding the waves. Like, tell me, look how cool that is. You can be a pirate. That's really cool, but it gets really interesting when you turn on the rain. When you turn on the rain and stuff, the waves get bigger. And now they're choppy and stuff. And then you can really just sail the waves and just fly around. So that's really, really cool. I sit here for hours doing this because it's just so cool. And then if you were to change it to a thunderstorm, the waves get even crazier. The whiteness on the waves means how high they are, I'm just gonna assume. And then you can like just fly around. The waves get super crazy. I'm practically just being thrown around. I'm surprised I haven't flipped yet. It's just so cool. And if I just stop moving, the waves will affect me. I will just like kind of linger around. The boat like stays with the waves and stuff like that. Then if I change it back to clear weather, the waves shrink down, they go back to their normal little size. And all of these wave heights and stuff, like this, it's super adjustable too, it's super configurable. You can make it where the waves are flat during normal weather, and then rain brings them to this height, and then thunder is to the rain's height. You can change stuff like that, but where all this really shines is with shaders. Because just look how cool that looks. This is probably going to destroy the video quality, but like, look at that. I'm using complementary shaders because it's one of my favorites. But look at that. It's like an actual ocean now. The sunlight reflection and everything like that. And then I won't leave you hanging. I'll go back through some of the old stuff with the shaders on. The vines don't change very much. They're all pretty cool still. The other vines don't change very much. The water changes. These don't change very much. They kind of stay the same, other than the glowing ore, which is part of complementary. The snow, it's still pretty cool. The snow trails do go away after a while, so you can continue just to draw shapes in the snow, which is pretty cool. I like that. That's awesome. Now the water changes depending on what shader you have as well. It's got to be compatible with them. I don't know which ones are compatible, but complementary seems to be pretty good. And then to cover that up, the real showcase is the TNT explosions with the shaders on. Just gonna like the top one, but like this looks super cool because it changes the way the smoke looks, and it's just so cool. Like, look at that. The smoke will continue to rise up and everything. Some of it's just gonna linger on the ground and then get caught above the blocks. You can move them around. They get affected by physics too, so you gotta push them around. But like, you can't tell me that's not cool. But yeah, that's all I got for you for the showcase world. If you want to see some gameplay, let me know, because I really enjoy playing with the physics mod. I don't mind playing some Minecraft with the physics mod at all. But that was a base level introductory video to the physics mod. There is a bunch of smaller stuff that you have to find out for yourself, the way the arrows hit and stuff like that. But I was just showing the main stuff, which is really, really cool. And honestly, this mod needs a lot more attention. It's one of the coolest ones out there. But that's all I got for you today. If you liked this at any way, shape, or form, if you want to see more mod pack or mod showcases, let me know. I'm not opposed to doing them. And then if you want to support my channel, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to, it's all up to you, but that is a good way to help me out and help YouTube know that I exist and stuff like that. But I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.